What's up, guys? Uh, all right, just got home. Just got home after killing legs. Uh, I'd say it's a successful workout. Collapsed during the walking lunges, so that's a good sign. Definitely, legs is one of my body parts that I need to bring up. But as if you give a shit. um, all right, so this video is uh, for a friend that messaged me. A friend from high school messaged me. Old friend back when I was in high school. He messaged me on Facebook asking me a very, very, very important question. One that I really feel is gonna benefit a lot of people in my age group. As you know, I'm in college. He asked me on Facebook. Um, just basically how to eat clean in college, and how to really just make smart diet choices, because it gets hard, and it does get hard, um, because as you know, if you're living on campus and you have your own dorm, you don't have, unless you're Mr. fucking awesome and you have like one of those dorms with the kitchens and stuff like that, you don't have any stovetops or stuff like that. Um, so we're gonna touch base on what you can do on your own first. Um, what I know, as far as diet goes in college, if you're living on campus, every college uh, that I've been to, or toured or anything like that, every single one, there was not one that didn't allow a crock pot. And so in that case, I really highly suggest that you invest in a crock pot. I'm sure your mom has one, so ask her nicely to borrow it. And you can just make in bulk quantities, like stews and other concoctions like that, which will be very good. You can make that in bulk and then have that for an extended period of time, and you don't have to worry about it because, as we know, studies take up a lot of fucking time. Uh, so definitely with the crock pot, highly suggest that. Take advantage of that. Um, if they allow a George Foreman grill, I would suggest one of those two. I know that they don't allow any open. Most colleges don't allow the open flame. Um, but if you are in the instance where they allow a George Foreman grill type contraption, I would also highly suggest getting one of those, and you can just grill up uh, anything, chicken, steak, all that stuff. If you afford it, if you have a part-time job and can afford it, or uh, again, ask parents for some support and some food and whatnot. Because as another part of the question that my friend asked me was about how to make smart choices in the dining hall. Uh, because you can eat in the dining hall and have a very nutritious meal, but at the same time, there's also the potential that you're just going to be eating junk too. So you really need to just go in there with the mindset of eating healthy. And a lot of the dining halls are almost set up like a cafe style kind of deal, uh, where you go up and just tell them what you want, and they'll give it to you and stuff. And it's all, obviously they prepare it, so you don't know uh, what they're using, what brand of whatever food it is that they're using, or what additives, seasonings and stuff like that, if they could be high sodium and stuff like that. But basically, it's not that hard. It really is not that hard to eat healthy in the dining hall. It's just when you go there, you need to have that mindset of really, you know, what you need to eat, and what's bad for you. Okay, the little fucking cupcakes and ice cream machines. I don't need to tell you that you don't need to eat that, or you shouldn't eat that. You know that. Okay, not that you should not eat it ever, because of course, enjoy yourself sometimes. And I'm not going to tell you to fucking kill yourself. You can't deprive yourself, because then that's something that I used to do. I used to deprive myself from stuff for so long that I would just go on binges, and then I would feel just so guilty about myself, and I'd be on the step mill the next morning until I threw up. So, and that's not good either. So really, enjoy yourself. You're in college. Is the time to have fun. So enjoy yourself. most people aren't going to be doing what I'm going to be, I'm doing in terms of like wanting to pursue a high status in the men's physique field. I'm just speaking for the vast majority of college students who just want uh, to go about leading a healthier life. So, um, we touched base on the crock pot, the George Foreman grill if they allow it. Going into the dining hall, stick, chicken breasts, and then just read what they're seasoning it with, and do your own research. So get a general idea and pick out certain foods. Um, so, for instance, if they have like some kind of exotic chicken dish, so I'll use like um, I'll use I'll use yeah, I'll use Indian food for example. Say if they're having like an Indian theme thing, they're having like a curry chicken and stuff like that. Just go back to your laptop and kind of look up and you can get a general idea of how much salt and other ingredients that are going to be in it, and so you can just it won't be exact, but it'll be a general idea. Um, and of course, you can scrape off some of the sauce to remove some of the salt. Um, but I would suggest really taking advantage of vegetables and eating those first because those are low calorie for the size, and it's going to fill up your stomach fast. I mean, it's going to fill up your stomach. So when you move on to the more calorie dense foods, you're not going to be eating as much of those, and you're not going to be taking in as many calories because you've already filled up your stomach with um, you know vegetables, and so that's not going to be a problem. Uh, Also, fruit. I mentioned in one of my Q&As how eating a half a grapefruit before every time you eat will ultimately lead you to eating less food as well. Um, and then grapefruits boost metabolism too, so you'll have more calorie burning. So that's really it's the same concept. Um, is going into the gym and pre-exhausting a muscle group before going to like a compound lift, and it makes it more difficult. That's not really the best analogy, but you get what I'm kind of saying. Really, just uh, pre like pre-game kind of with vegetables and low sugar, low carb fruits to fill up your stomach before moving on to really calorie dense food, and it's portion control too. So you want lots of green vegetables because you can eat as many of those. It's pretty much impossible to get fat on vegetables. I've never fucking seen anybody get fat on vegetables. So, eat as many of those as you like. So just have a big portion of vegetables, um, a big portion of fruit, depending on what kind of fruit it is. Not as big as the vegetable portion, obviously, but still, it should be a nice portion. Protein, you can have a nice. I would stick to about 8 ounces. Usually 8 ounces of meat. Chicken, like chicken turkey, will generally have around 35 to 40. It's a range. It'll be more or less, but 35 to 45 grams of protein. It'll usually be in that range. 8 ounces of meat. Um, so, what else? So yeah, also protein is also very good because protein requires the most calories to digest of all macronutrients. So I believe it's like half of the calories of whatever protein food you're eating, the lean protein source, gets burned just digesting the food. So that's another reason why you should definitely stick to lean proteins. Um, and when it comes to desserts, don't make it an everyday thing. You can have once or twice a week, a little slice of cake or an ice cream cone and stuff like that. And have some, people, you gotta have some happiness in your life. You gotta have some happiness in your life. Um, all right. Now we're going to touch base on, if you're really, really, really in a hurry. I swear by these things. These are the Quest bars. This is the only protein bar that I don't eat protein bars at all. No protein bars. This is the only protein bar that I will eat. No other. Um, with the exception of a protein bar that I make that's homemade. I'll eat those two. But as far as going into a store and buying a protein bar, this is the only one that I won't eat any other ones than this. And the reason why is because most of these they're gluten free. most of the Quest bars aren't used with any sugar or sugar alcohols. Some of the flavors have a little bit, but most of them don't. And it labels, it'll tell you if there's no sugar alcohols. And then you go into, you look at the nutrition facts. Generally, one bar will have anywhere from about 170 calories to 210 calories, depending on what flavor that you get. Very low sugar. Every bar has 20 grams of protein, which is good on the go. 20 grams it'll be sufficient to hold you over. But the primary reason why I like these things so much is the fiber content. This flavor in particular, apple pie, which is one of my favorites, has 18 grams of dietary fiber per one bar, which is unbelievable. Find me another protein bar that has 18 grams of fiber in it. You're not going to find any. You won't. And the fiber, these things are pretty hardy. So what I like to do is I'll take these out and I'll stick them in the microwave for about like 15 to 20 seconds, and it softens it up, and then it's really like a dessert. And I'll have that like with a glass of milk or something, and that's like my dessert. Or if you're really feeling, really having a sweet tooth, you could have like a little scoop of vanilla ice cream next to it too, if you're cheating or whatever. Don't get scared when you look at the carbohydrates. It has 24 grams of carbohydrates. However, only in this case, only six of those grams are active carbohydrates. The reason why is because dietary fiber is a carbohydrate, but it's a non-digestible carbohydrate. Your body can't digest it, so it just it cleans and scrapes out your system. So whenever looking at the nutrition facts, if you see the dietary fiber and the carbohydrates, you take the number, however many grams of dietary fiber in it, and you subtract it from the amount of carbohydrates, and then whatever the difference is, that's the amount of actual carbohydrates that gets digested in the body. That I'll have. So Quest bars, they are a bit expensive. I think it's about like 25 fucking dollars per box, somewhere around there. If you get it at like Vitamin Shop or something, but I'm sure you can go online and find it cheaper. So that's that. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, it's not that complicated. It really isn't. If you just sit down and really just brainstorm, I really feel that people they know, you know what's healthy, and what's not. So that the chicken breast is better than the chicken drumstick. So those things, and then just use that knowledge in when you're in the dining hall and to make the smart choices. I know there's a lot of sweets, and I know there's a lot of fries and fried food that you'll be tempted to eat, that you can eat every now and then, but just you got to be smart and you got to fight temptation. I know it's hard sometimes, but just believe me, you'll feel a lot better fighting the temptation, and then leaving knowing that okay, I'm strong enough. I didn't give in to those cravings, and that always feels good, as opposed to just feeling guilty like, oh, what did I do to myself? So yeah, that's really it. So we pretty much covered it all. If you want to cook, get the crock pot, make stews. Protein bars. Oh, you can also invest in like a shaker bottle too, and protein powder, and make shakes. I don't like having shakes obviously as a primary source of protein, but if it's between obviously having a shake or not eating anything at all, then yeah, have the shake, because that's better. But yeah, so I would suggest to get a full meal almost. Just put milk, or almond milk if you're lactose intolerant or you want less calories, protein powder however much you want, and then mix oats. Just pour oats in there, and then let it sit, and then the whatever liquid you use is going to soften the oats, and you can generally just sip and chew on that. Evan Santapani used to do that. I'm sure he probably still does it occasionally, maybe, but he used to do it a lot when he was earlier on. But I'm gonna run out of time. So hope this answers your question. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover. All right.